ready to record.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
It's about time to get started. We really appreciate everybody coming and being a part of this seminar. It's an informational seminar. We have with us Steve Gaines. He is the executive director of the organization, and he has brought Sonia Presley, because he can't do anything without Sonia Presley, his assistant. And so he is going to tell us about the program and what's available in the program. So we're going to be here for just ever how much time he likes, but at the end of the hour, we're leaving whether he's finished or not. But we really appreciate him taking his time. So we'll turn it over to Mr. Steve.
Well, thank you for being here, and I promise you we won't be an hour, I don't think, but it is good to see each and every one of you. I do want to thank Sonia Presley. She's our fiscal officer. She is with us tonight. And we also have Deborah Lovelace, who is the director of our adult daycare center here in Tishomingo County, down at Midway, and appreciate her coming. So, like Brother Conley said, I'm Steve Gaines. I'm the director at Northeast Community Services. And before I usually start with something like this, I always want to thank the people that matter the most. And first of all, our board of directors. We have an agency board of directors, and Brother Conley serves on that, and he serves your community well. And he does a wonderful job as part of that board of directors. And also the Tishomingo County Board of Supervisors. They provide financial support to operate many of the programs that we will talk about today. And without them, we would not be able to do the things we do to help the folks in the community. So Sonia has given you a handout. Each one of you has that, and we're just going to jump right in. You see the first page there, and you see all the county offices. We cover 6 counties, so someone that may be watching or listening later on, remember everything we talk about today is available in Tishomingo County, but it's also available in 5 other counties. So if someone might be listening or watching later on, Alcorn, Benton, Marshall, Prentiss, Tippa, we have the same thing available in those counties as well. So keep that in mind. And we'll start, we have several different programs, and we're going to kind of separate them into categories. So the first programs we're going to talk about tonight are what's called community service programs. And we operate these programs from the Department of Human Services in Jackson. They give us funding to do that for these 3 particular programs. And all of these, the top two programs, Community Service Block Grant, the first one there at the top, and LIHEAP, Low Income Home Energy Assistance, they work hand in hand. And the way this works is, let me start with LIHEAP in the middle of the page. That's utility assistance. That's an easy way to tell you that. If a client comes in and looks for utility assistance, we have a LIHEAP program that can provide that. And that might be your light bill, propane, natural gas, any of those utilities. We can assist you with that. Now, the easy way we usually talk about these programs is LIHEAP handles utility assistance, CSBG handles anything else that you might need. So if someone comes into our county outreach office that's in the basement of the courthouse there in Iuka, Tishomingo County Courthouse, if you have a need with a utility assistance, we've got LIHEAP to help you. If you've got need for anything else, pretty much, that would fall under CSBG. That typically is assistance with rent, assistance with a mortgage payment, looking for a job and you need assistance maybe getting some of the goods necessary for that. Say you've got a new job that requires steel-toe shoes and you might need assistance with something like that. Or you'd like to go to school, you'd like to go to Northeast Community College, you'd like to go to ICC and take a phlebotomy class, and you need help with the tuition. We even helped a young man many years ago in Tishomingo County. We assisted him with the tuition to law enforcement school. And he graduated and works in law enforcement. I think he is still in Tishomingo County working in law enforcement. We helped with that. So many different ways we can assist a person. So we've got the utility grant assistance. We've got CSBG, which handles pretty much anything else. And then finally, in this group of programs, we have weatherization. And that is where you sign up for this program. We send someone out, and they assess your home for the energy, how well it is energy efficient. And what we're trying to do is to make your home, through weatherization program, we make it more energy efficient. So our guys, our employees come out and they do a home assessment. They find where you've got problems with air leakage and that type of thing, where you're losing good air and letting bad air in. Then we send out contractors and they weatherize the home based on what we tell them to do. And then we come back in after that and we finalize it. We make sure they did what they were told to do. And then we take care of the contractor. And what we're looking at is we come into a home and we see how much insulation you have in your attic. Insulation over many, many years can settle. So your home may not be energy efficient because of lack of insulation in the attic, or your windows may not be sealed off properly. Doors may need door sweeps. A lot of people lose air around the dryer vent, things like that. And we provide the materials and the labor at no cost to the client to do that to the home. And we can do these measures, and then at the end of the process, the theory is your utility bill will go down. And typically that is what happens. So these three programs, like I said, the community service programs, they are based on household income. So there is some things you have to do to qualify for these programs. Now, where you go to qualify for them would be in the courthouse at Tishomingo County, in the basement on the back side, Conchela Poling, she's our caseworker. And we have, the front page has the information there on the number to call, 423-7013. You call there, you make an appointment, you bring documents in. We have to have certain documents that we need to determine eligibility. If we do determine that a client is eligible, then we can proceed with providing the type of assistance that you may be interested in. Now, to be eligible, it's based on everyone in the household, and it's based on the total household income. So to give you an example, and we actually have an income guideline sheet, the second page. And on this sheet, you can see, and some of that is very confusing, the way, I don't know why they don't simplify this, but we talked about CSBG, rent, mortgage, assistance with going to school. That's our lowest income program. I wish it wasn't like that, but it is. So to give you an example, a family of two, look on the left side there, 2 people living in a home for CSBG, if the income is $24,650 or less, they would qualify. So say you had a husband and wife and 2 children. So now you've got a family of 4. So you come down to the 4, you go across to the right. So as long as the household income is $37,500 or less, you would qualify. Does that make sense? Utility assistance. So utility assistance, you go all the way over to the column on the far right. So a family of 4 to receive utility assistance, $45,180 or less. For the single person living alone, we do serve a lot of single clients. One in the household, $23,493. So, a lot of folks can qualify for this program. So keep that in mind. So if maybe wondering what documents do you need? So for a family, we're going to need Social Security numbers for everyone in the family. Then we'll need driver's license for everyone in the family that drives. And then we'll need the income documents income documents, that's the best way to say it, for anyone in the household that has income. That might be check stubs, Social Security, what you draw from Social Security, retirement benefits, and we need a month's worth of income. So if it's a working individual, and they get paid once a week, we would need 4 consecutive, the most recent consecutive check stubs to have their income to make eligibility determination. If it's a Social Security individual, we can take the letter that individuals typically get around November, early December, that tells you what you're going to draw. Like in November or December of 23, you probably got an award letter that told you what you will draw for 24. We can take that. We don't take the bank statement, do we? We're not supposed to take the bank statement where you bring in the front page and it says U.S. Treasury. I don't know why we can't take that. It makes all the sense in the world to me, but we're not allowed to do that. So, and you can go get a printout. You can simply, if need be, you can go Social Security office. I think from here we probably have to go to Corinth. It's the closest. You would go there, you would get a printout showing and you ask for a benefit statement. They give you that printout. You've got what we need. Any questions about that? And that's what you would take to Conchela. She would tell you this on the phone when you call to make that appointment. And we have to do a pre-app, and that's part of the pre-application process. We have to determine eligibility first. Then once eligibility is determined, and say an individual wants utility assistance, they bring in a copy of the utility bill that they need help with, or the natural gas bill, or the propane bill, or we have them determined that they are eligible and they need propane. They will tell us, okay, who's a propane dealer? Rogers in this area. They would say, okay, I use Rogers, and either Conchela or the client can contact Rogers. We're able to assist with 100 gallons at a time. Now, each client, as far as utility assistance, each household has what's called an annual matrix amount, which is based on income and household size once again. And I didn't bring that because that can get real confusing. But based on the size of your household and your income, it tells us how much you can receive in a year's time. And it's all based on your heating source. So if you're all electric, you have it's not split. Say your income is a certain amount and you've got 3 in the household. If you're all electric, you might have a $1,000 annual matrix amount, which means through 1 year we could serve you up to $1,000 worth of assistance. Now say you had natural gas heat, then they would split that. If you were 1,000, then you would have 500 that could go to the utility for light bills and 500 for gas, or 500 for the light bill, 500 for propane. So it's all based on, when you do fill out an application, you do tell us what your heating source is, whether it be propane, natural, or if you're all electric. Anybody got any questions at this point about any of it? Okay. So that's the community service programs. Utility assistance, CSBG, which is pretty much anything else, and we've had anything you can think of. We've been asked, and a lot of times if it's within reason, we help them with it. So we've got utility assistance, CSBG, and then weatherization. So don't forget about the weatherization. Weatherization does require a little bit more documentation to be brought in. Has to do with the home. Make sure you own your home. We can take a copy of a deed. We can take tax records where you've paid your land taxes, anything to show that you prove that you own that particular residence. Now let me stop right here and say, I know some of you may be thinking, well, that's a lot of personal information. Well, we do protect confidentiality to the utmost, and those records are scanned into our computer and then they are destroyed. So we don't, your information is safe. Anybody that provides assistance for us, we have people that come in with assistance for rent, and we find out who the landlord is, and it may be an individual. Well, we can still assist by paying that individual. And remember, we don't make any payments to a client. We make them straight to the vendors. We pay Tishomingo County Electric Power Association. We pay the natural gas company. We pay straight to Rogers Gas, straight to any other propane vendor, straight to them on behalf of the client. And everything is documented so they know who to apply those funds to, whose account to apply them to. But in any vendor, any rental vendor, an individual that rents homes, he can feel safe by allowing us to assist his renter. There's not going to be any problems with participating in our program if you are a landlord. Okay? So if you don't have any questions with that, let's move on to the next section of programs. Nextly, those are the community service programs. Now we have our aging programs. And they are for the aging, it is for the elderly people, but that's 60. So that's the number to keep in mind, 60 or older. And we've got several listed here, and we'll go through that. First one is homemaker service. That's where we send an individual out and provides light housekeeping services to the client. Does things, like sweeps and mops, and does laundry. Help me, Sonia. Anything that they can run personal errands for the client if that's needed. Basic, housekeeping type things. We provide the client that comes into the home and provides those services, homemaker services, okay? Respite services. This is another program that we have, and actually the client in this particular case is the caregiver of someone who needs care. So to give you an example here, we've got Ricky and Deborah sitting right here on the front, toward the front, all right? So if Ricky gets in a shape where Deborah has to provide continuous care for Ricky, and that situation happens a lot, the caregiver needs a chance to get out and do something. They may have to go out and pay bills. They may have to go to the doctor, may have a doctor's appointment. They may simply need to go out and get away for a little while. We provide a service where we would come in and we would stay with the person that is homebound while the caregiver gets a chance to go out and do what they need to do. That's respite. That's the name of that's the name of the program, and that's what we actually do for the family, for the client. Next, we have home delivered meals. We provide home delivered meals. They are frozen meals. They are provided to us from a statewide contracted company. We don't have any say in that, but they're pretty good meals. They're good, and we would come to a person's home, bring them a box, and it would have 5 frozen meals in it. Okay, and it's all within a repetition where, say you lived in a particular part of Tishomingo County, we would cover that area the same time every week. So someone that lives in Iuka, excuse me, the way the routes are run, we would say we would be in Iuka every Monday morning, and down in Belmont on Tuesdays, and in Tishomingo on Wednesdays, things like that. And probably I'd say within 15 minutes of the time, like if our meal delivery person comes on a Monday morning at 9:30, you could almost write it down that person will be there, give or take 10 or 15 minutes every Monday morning at 9:30 with your meal, with your box. We come once a week to your home and deliver the meal. So that's the home delivered meal program. Congregate meal sites. We have congregate meal sites in Marshall, Alcorn, and Tishomingo County, and I'm not going to confuse you on that because we're in Tishomingo County. I'm going to hold up and let's go straight down to adult daycare, because congregate meal site is very similar to an adult daycare, except it's not as comprehensive. So there's really no need of covering that. It's just a matter of funding source and how we handle things paper-wise in our office for Tishomingo County. Tishomingo County has an adult daycare, a full-fledged adult daycare. Now this is where I really want to emphasize, we would love to have any of you to come and join. The adult daycare, it's in Midway. We need to update this. Actually, yeah, we need to update this one. It says it's Tishomingo State Park Lodge. That used to be where we were. Now we have moved to Midway, and it's the Midway Schoolhouse the historic schoolhouse there at Midway. Beautiful place. It's a great facility. Supervisors provide that for us, and we certainly appreciate that. But like I said, it is a licensed adult daycare. Deborah Lovelace, she's the director. She does a wonderful job. We have, you see it listed all there. Array of activities include exercise, games, singing, devotions, guest speakers, fellowships, field trips. They'll have people come. Brother Conley has come before and given devotions. We appreciate that. So it's a great place. If you haven't ever been, if you want, just stop by and tell Deborah, say, hey, I want to watch a little while. I just want to see what all goes on. So you might like it. You might decide this is a place for you, and we think you would. Hours of operation, 8:30 to 2. We provide transportation for you. If you can drive, that's fine. We encourage that. Yes, sir.
Is there an eligibility?
Eligibility is strictly age on this. 60 plus.
Anybody 60 plus?
Anybody 60 plus. Mm-hmm. Sure. I should have mentioned that. I'm sorry. I will mention eligibility shortly on everything above daycare. But the as far as the adult daycare, that is correct, isn't it, Deborah? It's just age.
Yes, there's an application.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. It's the age. Okay. Like I said, it's at the Midway Schoolhouse. We would love to have you. We provide a snack, a mid-morning snack, and a hot meal at lunch. Transportation is available. We can provide that as well, to and from each day. So if you've got any questions, you can call our office. On the front is this list. I should have listed the daycare number, but you can call us and we'll get you in touch with Deborah if you have any questions directly about the daycare. Okay, so let's back up to eligibility for everything above that. Congregate meal sites, home delivered meals, respite, and homemaker service. To be eligible for that, you have to be 60 years old or older, and we have to complete a screening form on you. And it's something that, you have that, Sonia? And this form, you can call Tammy Bailey at our office. And this form is pretty lengthy and asks a lot of questions, but it's not as daunting as it might seem. And you get a weighted score for questions that are asked of you. So it's not income based. It's more based on questions concerning your ability, like bathing, dressing, toilet use, transfer mobility, walking in home, meal preparation, managing medicine, heavy housework, light housework, shopping, transportation, and you give us answers based on how well you can handle those activities, and those numbers add up at the end of the day at the bottom of the screening form, and we get a number that determines your eligibility. And typically, the 60-year-old person or older will qualify, but we do have to answer these questions and go through this. Excuse me. But that's part of the eligibility process with home delivered meals, respite, and homemaker services. Okay? And once again, you'll call our office. If you'll notice at the top of this page, Tammy Bailey, 662-728-2118. You call our office in Boonville for these programs. And then if we quickly flip back to the front page, the first page of services, there's Conchayla Poling at the Tishomingo County Outreach Office. You call, there's her number, and you can also call our number in Boonville as well. So then we go to the final page. And that's where we see two other programs we want to mention. First one is transportation. We have a general public transportation program that we operate in Tishomingo County and the surrounding counties, all of the counties we serve. And it is general public. Anyone can access it. Absolutely anyone. You call, you make an appointment. There is a fee, there's a fare for this service to provide the transportation. It's certainly, I think, reasonably priced. And we take you to, and when we pick you up, we'll bring you back home. And we can take you pretty much anywhere you need to go. We possibly could handle a 24-hour notice, but we would prefer a minimum of a 48-hour notice when you call to make an appointment. And even the more time, the better. If you know now that you have an appointment for April 21st to go to the doctor, don't wait. Call now and make an appointment now, so we know that we can get you down, get you scheduled, so we won't have any problems. Now, if something comes up and you need to go somewhere tomorrow, we might be able to handle it. Excuse me. We would try our best to, but try to give us as much advance notice as you can. The phone number's there at the top. You can call 416-3065, or you could also call our office in Boonville. It's a good program. It's wonderful, and it's something that we need to see increased in Tishomingo County. We have some pretty good vehicles. We try to keep our vehicles up as nice as possible, and we've got good drivers, friendly folks that can take you anywhere you need to go. Now let me give you an idea about the fees, because I know you might be wondering that. Say an individual in this area needs to go to Tupelo for a doctor's appointment. That would be that's $25. If you need to go to Corinth, that's $20. You need to go to Iuka, in the $6 to $8 range, and that is round trip transportation.
What about the time? Like, it's gonna take them to see the doctor an hour, and they gotta come back home after an hour. Does the driver have to wait?
No, absolutely. Well, what would happen is when we drop you off, we would give you the driver's cell phone number, and when your appointment is over, you would call them, and they would come back and pick you up. Now, sometimes they might have another trip, but typically particularly if you're going from here to Tupelo or here to Corinth or a designated trip like that, we're not going to get involved in anything else, and we're going to be there pretty quick, almost immediately, and might not even leave. Dialysis, we do a lot of dialysis transportation. It's very important to individuals. So, pass that word along. We would love to see the ridership pick up in Tishomingo County if it would.
Would this typically be like you're going to Tupelo, they pick you up in the morning, and you would get home maybe at 5 o'clock in the evening?
I'm sorry, tell me.
If you're going to go to Tupelo for a doctor's appointment,
Mm-hmm.
they pick you up in the morning, 8 o'clock, let's say, but then you got to wait on everybody else that's in Tupelo to see their doctor too, that's with you. And then you come back, right?
No. Most of the time it's one-on-one, particularly for those type trips.
Okay.
Yes, it's pretty much one-on-one. Occasionally, in dialysis circumstances, we might have a double up, but we only do that in cases when the individuals, when their service is almost identical, because we don't want people waiting after that. They're ready to get home, and we want to get them home. But now almost 99% of the time, it would be a one-on-one situation.
Time doesn't matter. If they go down there and spend 2 hours,
Absolutely.
3 hours,
Right.
because it's a procedure they're gonna have
Absolutely.
to wait on.
We sure will.
The fee is the same.
Fee's the same. The fee is the same. It's not, the clock's not ticking based on how long you stay. It's a set.
Sometimes I go to the doctor, they want me to have a responsible adult with me the whole time to take me home.
Mm-hmm.
Is your driver going to be there for that?
Absolutely. We can do that.
Okay.
Yes. You have a procedure, and they want, before they'll do it, they want to see that you have a way home. Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of times there's individuals that live alone, they don't have any other way. That if we wouldn't provide that, they couldn't go have that procedure. So we sure do. Mm-hmm. And if you hadn't got, and no more questions about transportation, finally, there at the bottom, dreaded income tax preparation. We do that. We provide income tax preparation. I actually do it myself. It is an IRS VITA site, Volunteer Income Tax Assistance. It is offered through the IRS. We can direct deposit your refund. It's an e-file system. It's just like going to the CPA office. And we offer that, and we would love to help you if you have a need there with income tax preparation.
Fee for that, a fee.
No fee whatsoever. That is free. And as far as participation in that pretty much is based on your return. We can do the general type return. We can do an itemization return. That's no problem either. Now, if you've got a bunch of rental property or farm, we can't do that. We're not qualified to do that.
In other words, you're the only one doing it.
That's right. That's right. And I don't want too much. That's right.
How many did you do this year, Steve?
Right, I think I'm in the range of about 160, 180 so far. I've got a box that keeps stacking up. It's got to be done in the next 2 weeks for sure. So probably another 25 to 30 to do. So that pretty much covers everything we do. We also, I will mention that number at the courthouse, Shayla, on the community service programs. If we can't help, one thing that we try to pride ourselves on is if we can't help, we should know where you could get help. And we do referral information. So Shayla knows everything that goes on in Tishomingo County as far as who can assist you elsewhere if it were a situation where we couldn't help. So keep that in mind. You may just need to ask her a question like that, and she could certainly help you with that. And she does a wonderful job. She's been there a long time. She is a licensed social worker, and she knows her stuff. So she can help you with anything that you might need as far as assistance that we offer. And I've always told everybody everywhere I go, I've got the greatest job in the world because all I get to do every day is help people. And you can't get much better than that. And the people that work there, all of them feel the same way. And you can tell it, and it shows in the way they work and what they do. And once again, I want to thank Sonia for being here, and I want to thank Deborah for coming. Tishomingo is a great county. It's one of our smaller counties, but that doesn't mean that it's not important. And we're fortunate, once again, to have the support of the community. We have the support of the supervisors, and that's very important. Any questions about anything we do? Has anybody here ever been served with any of our programs? Okay. I hope it went well. Okay, great, good. Has anybody here ever utilized our transportation system? Anybody here think you might? I want to see a bunch of hands. Because remember now, it's general public. It's available to anyone. And I always tell this story. My mother and father-in-law live in Alcorn County, and bad weather one year, and they were fixing to leave to go on a trip and from Memphis Airport. Weather was a little sketchy. You've got the fees, to pay parking at the Memphis Airport. They got one of our drivers to take them. Pull them up at the front door. Of course, they had to pay a pretty hefty fee. And I shouldn't say hefty, but they paid an amount that's equal to going. And then we came right back when they got back from their trip and picked them up there. So it's anybody. Once again, I appreciate Brother Conley and all he does for our board and our agency. I appreciate the opportunity to be here and speak with y'all tonight. and we look forward to serving you in the future. And if we can be of any help, just call our office. Anybody got any more questions? All righty. Thank you.
Appreciate everybody coming. Tell your family, friends, everybody about what you learned here tonight.
Absolutely.
We'll, he is recording that, so we'll put that up on our
Okay.
Facebook page.
That's fine.
Y'all share it. If y'all go on your Facebook page and find it, share it with your friends, and that'll get the word out to you. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So well